It's Watercolor Wednesday. Before I get started on this, I just wanted to mention that the reason why I started the daily motivation projects was because I needed to stay focused on the things that I did on a daily process with my crafting, and to put it out there to hopefully inspire people as well as learn from people. So whatever projects I'm working on, I am certainly not an expert at what I'm doing. So I really appreciate any comments or any suggestions or help with any of the creations that I'm making. I really do appreciate it. And then maybe we can all learn from it as well. So again, thank you very much. Now here I'm using the Smooch Pearlized accent inks. I had got these as a door prize for one of the scrapping events that I had gone to. There's only 8. They come in a variety of colors, and I wasn't really sure how to use them. So I went onto YouTube and I watched several videos of people creating things with these, and they used different types of materials on what they were applying these Smooch to. Now this one here is just a chipboard flower type thing, and I pulled this one out of what I had because I liked the heart in the middle of it because it's Valentine's Day almost. So this is Maya Road, and it's good chipboard, but I kind of was playing with it before I started the video, and I really like how you can apply it to chipboard. That's what I've done here so far, and it's shimmery. It doesn't bleed into the other colors. It dries very, very fast, and see the gold, I'm putting the gold on there, and I just put the red on it. It's not bleeding, so it's not, you know, smearing all into one color. So I'm having a lot of fun with this. Actually, I've just never used it before. Now I have to resist the temptation of getting out my 40% coupon and running down to Michael's and getting more colors, because that's what I do. I'm crazy when it comes to that kind of thing. All right, so I really like that, and I do like how it keeps its shimmer. That's chipboard, so that's very, very pretty. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and try it on some cardstock. Now this is a butterfly looking stamp set that I had in my stash, and I don't know where it came from, so my apologies for that. This is regular cardstock, and I used Ranger Black Archival ink for absolutely no reason whatsoever other than it was just convenient. I'm sure the Memento would have worked just fine. And I was trying to decide here what color I wanted my butterfly. And I had taken the Smooch bottles out of their original containers, but then I thought, gosh, the name isn't on the bottle, or for what I could see, because my eyes are getting so bad. So I taped the name, the color on the bottle, but it wasn't staying, so I had to take it off. I'll figure something out. I'll use a black Sharpie or something. So I'm just painting this butterfly, and just so surprised that it's staying shimmery and how fast it dries. And then I wanted to see if there was a color difference between the chipboard and the cardstock, and I would say that the cardstock was just a little brighter. Now I had only put one coat on the chipboard, so I don't know if anybody knows if you put an additional coat or if there's something else you would put over it. I guess you could put glossy accents. That would be pretty. And I'm just going to take a minute and I'm going to color in this butterfly, because I want to see if it bleeds on the cardstock. And I already know that the chipboard, it does not. So I'm going to finish coloring that last butterfly wing. That's possibly a flower. I'm not really sure. And then I'm going to pick another color, and I'm going to pick the green. And I'm going to color in the middle of those wings. And I want to see what happens. I know I've said this before, but I was really surprised how fast that it dries, and then on 2 different types of surfaces. Yeah, no, it's not bleeding at all. This is very cool stuff. I'm glad I took the time to go through my drawer that has all my painting type stuff in it. And it's very shimmery and very pretty. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so I'm not going to color the rest of it here. I'm just kind of, this is an experiment only, not a completed project or a tutorial. And I was looking at this stamp as well. I love this stamp, by the way. It's so pretty. It's Stampendous, and I got it at Michael's. I just bought it. This is the first time I've ever used it. And I'm not going to color on the cardstock with that particular flower stamp. I'm going to go ahead and switch to watercolor paper, and this is 90 pound. And this is one of the techniques that I learned as I was watching the YouTube videos. And I'm just trying to wipe off the stamp because it does have black ink on it, but it's really not coming off, which is fine. I just didn't want it to blend or bleed in with the smooch. I love saying that, right? Smooch. Okay, so what I saw was that you can paint directly on the rubber stamp, but the suggestion was to go ahead and ink it up with some medium or the same stuff that you use for heat embossing, and I forgot to pull that out. So just know that that was the suggestion, and it was suggested because the embossing ink, it's not ink, I can't think of the word, help me, stays wet longer. So because the smooch dries so quickly, as we saw that on the chipboard and the cardstock, you kind of want it to stay wet so you can finish painting the rest of your image. So I'm going to try that off camera on another project where I dip it in that medium first. And I'm trying to go really, really fast here because I don't want it to dry. And I liked that in a minute I'll show you, you can keep stamping it if you re-wet it. And I used just a little water bottle. I used the one that I get from Ink Essentials. It's called Mister, M-I-S-T-E-R. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to stamp it out on the watercolor paper. And I like it. I like that it's, I'm going to call vague. You know, it's not real defined. Almost drop the stamp. Okay, so I just sprayed it. Let's see what that's like. And I'm going to stamp it again without spraying it or inking it. So you could actually do this as a masking process and go ahead and mask out that first flower and then stamp it out, stamp it out, stamp it out. And the lighter it gets, you can kind of put it next to each other. So it'd be really pretty, but it stays shimmery. It's not like a distressed ink or regular ink. Now here I'm just kind of seeing that if I can paint in the green leaf with that green that I used, and you do, and it's shimmery. It's still beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. So that's very nice, and that'd be pretty on a card. I mean, that flower is gorgeous. And you could go ahead and paint in the rest. You can even put some of that gold color on that flower. Now for here, I'm going to use a different color of smooch, and I'm just going to do one flower, and I'm going to try it by applying the smooch on the rubber stamp and then putting on a cardstock versus the watercolor paint. And if anybody's curious why I have that silly band-aid on my finger, I was grating cheese and just all focused on it, just grating away, and my son walked in the room and said, "Hey Mom," and I looked up and cut a big chunk off my knuckle. Not the first time I've done that, by the way. But the good thing is the skin was still there. It did not end up in the cheese. Well, that's kind of gross, actually. Okay, so here I stamped the flower on the cardstock with the black smooch, and then I sprayed it and I stamped it on the cardstock again, and it just kind of smeared all over. So if you're going to do that, I'm thinking that you would want to go ahead and use the watercolor paper to do that, to spray it. And I'm just cleaning off my stamp here. You know, thank you so much all for watching and your wonderful comments and your encouragement. And if you have anything that can help me out here with this, please do so. Have a great day.